Greater light, greater light. I don't know if anyone saw, but it was told, I don't know if this is misinformation, that the earth has changed as a result of going into 25-hour days. Now, we know that, well, I know that there is going to be a point where time will be no more. But if Earth has sped to a point where we're going into 25-hour days, there would be some type of proof in that, right? Now, I just started my live less than 3 minutes ago. I just hit the live button less than 3 minutes. I didn't even do my whole 4-minute intro. So I went to go do the check that I used to do, where I'd be like, let me do a check while, but now I just go to my phone and check. And it says that I've been live for 18 minutes. So the proof is right here for those live tube streamers, where that may not be a form of misinformation. Start checking the time when you hit your live button, and artificial intelligence, in your mind, you only went live for 2 minutes or a minute, and artificial intelligence is telling you you've been live for 20 minutes or you've been live for 18 minutes. I told someone that an elder, I said, yeah, they said that the earth has went into a phase where there's about to be a 25-hour days. Now, I remember just a few years ago when I said, how come Georgia is the only state that's fighting to eliminate daylight savings time? Huh? Just food for thought. Now, what I'm going to do today is, because I want to read this foolproof, I'm going to share with you what I normally do before I read a book. I did it with you with the righteous mind. I thought about it. I said, I do this, but then I don't really share it with people online, which I learned from my great teacher, Melchizedek. From my great teacher, Melchizedek, that when you're reading a book, you need to know about the author. Who are you reading about? Whose mind are you reading from? At least get some type of information. Just a little bit. Something. You want to know something about who you feeding, you eating, feeding your mind off of their table. You see certain beings that I stick with and have stuck with a long time in their chats, because not that I know them, of course, ain't nobody on the other side of the screen. But they have opened up their lives, and they'll tell you stories about the type of individual they are. They were a little bit of transparent enough to say, okay, now I have an introduction of the mind. So what I'm doing with foolproof today, the first part of it is going to be what I've learned so far about the author, or what I'm learning with you about the so-called author. Because of course I had to ask artificial intelligence, with this book just coming out 2023 this year, is the author's name, is this a pen name for an artificial intelligence being, or is it a human being? And when I look at his picture, I still feel like I didn't, you know how with The Righteous Mind, the book The Righteous Mind, when I do the live, I put Jonathan Haidt's face, even though he looks to be a little artificial. Well, Sander van der Linden, it looks very artificial. It don't look like a face I want to have the sound waves coming from. Even though he's supposed to be the author of helping you build your immunity to misinformation, I'm pretty sure more than likely it wasn't meant for a certain type of people. It was only meant for a certain type of people coming out of Cambridge, huh? I'm just saying, but I'm going to read this book, y'all. I put down Jonathan Haidt for a second. See, Jonathan Haidt pretend like he wants the world to be like Rodney King. When Rodney King, can we all just get along? And he breaks down Rodney King's mind, or his phrase, like he actually sat down and may have talked to Rodney King. I don't know. That's how the title. That's how the book starts off. But then you go deeper and deeper after he said he's a Jeffersonian. After he said he signed on to the high society, he took oaths under a fraternal order. He said it. At least he was transparent. That's what I'm talking about. He even gave instances where he tricked people into selling their souls for $2. Signing over their souls for $2. He wanted to see if they were capable of doing it. So I know what I'm dealing with when I read John Haidt's The Righteous Mind. Now I'm going to go into the foolproof. It's some, I can just imagine And some be like, she don't stick to one content, she's all over the place. I heard that with somebody doing a critique on somebody else. Well, I mean, in elementary school, you had one teacher that taught all subjects. Remember that? No, some people don't remember that. Some people didn't even pay attention to school. And then when we got older, I mean, the only time we actually went and broke off to another teacher was if that around that teacher's lunchtime. So you might be to one of the other elementary teachers because that teacher had a time where they needed to themselves. And then you'd have PE. You know, but the elementary teacher would be like, okay, take out your social studies book. Okay, take out your math book. Okay, take out your handwriting folder. I'm just saying. So yeah, I'm in the reading the Life Application Bible. I'm reading the Righteous Mind. Today I want to do FoolProof. FoolProof, but before, like I said, I get started, I want to read about the author. What they got to say about Sander Vander. Sander Vander. Use a Sander Vander Linden. Ah. All right. Of course, I had to get Bing involved. Chat. I had to get chat involved with this first. Then I went to the wiki board. Before the wiki board, here we are. Let's get some interesting facts on my research and development on the author of FoolProof. If you have any questions about what's scrolling up under the screen, what do you do when you find out all the halls have a rat? What do you do when you find out that the dog is a cat? Huh? The prophet DMX, Lord, give me a sign. When he finally cleaned up, I'm talking about when he finally cleaned up and decided I'm going to play a cop in the movie. I'm going to reverse the roles. They said, we got to take you out. Ain't no way in the world we going to let you play a policeman after you have all this knowledge. We tried to keep you numb. Now you want to be clean and play a cop. You's out of here. But if you go and all the little signs where he said, Lord, give him a sign when he was battling with the devil, One of his songs says, which was one of my favorites. Y'all know I told you the way that I prevented being brainwashed when they used to have those girls coming over from University of Miami practicing how to hypnotize us. Literally, they would let us know you had to sign a waiver and everything. We are practicing hypnotism, and we're coming into Agape Ministries. And some of you, we have to hypnotize for a reason. We can't tell you, but we have to be able to know that we can or cannot hypnotize some of you. Any day that I knew that they was coming in, I would get on a treadmill and the day before and play DMX, the whole album. It's dark and hell is hot. And that line right there now seems to be part of prophetic code. What do you do when you find out the whole time, that the dogs that Jesus was talking about came straight from the tribe of Judah? The dog is a cat, The same sickle that's in the blood. That's not misinformation. The reason why I'm doing it on top of this FoolProof, because that's not misinformation. The lion has sickle blood. And a tribe of Judah has sickle blood. What do you do when you find out the dog is a cat? Anyways, let me tell you what Bing had to say. Let's go over what Bing had to say when I exchanged information with her. Oh, they try to kill it out of here. Did they literally, did they just do that? Okay. The first thing I asked her, now after about the author, I'm going to have to take a break and then come back because about the author is pretty lengthy before I get into the good reading of the day. So I said, what is the etymology of sander? Now, I found out the connection to some of the sands in my name within my bloodline on the 23andMe. I grew up with sands around me, people last name Sands. We all were island descent, but there were some Sands that I went to school with and possibly are literally related by blood because the name Sands is now popping up through my 23andMe. But there's a young lady, literally, we look like family that I grew up with the whole time. And then some other sands that are even our eye colors are the same. And now sands are popping up in my 23andMe bloodline. We all came out of Coconut Grove, and now these names popping up in my bloodline. But this name, Sander, I'm not talking about Colonel Sanders. It's Sander, the author of FoolProof. Now, maybe those Sanders and this Sanders are the same if you break down the way phonetics change throughout times and signs or signs of the times. But this is what she had to say. The etymology of Sander could be tracked back to two possible origins. One is that the variant, and now we talking blood, of Sanders, which is the diminutive, the D-I-M-I-N, diminutive of the personal name Alexander, meaning protector. So here comes Alexander the Great, with some foolproof on misinformation, but he's doing studies, and the head of the departments of psychology at Cambridge, and talk about how to build immunity. Okay, Xander, Alexander, the defender of men. The other is derived from Old Norse, sanner, meaning true or real. Both origins are related to the Proto-Germanic root zanpaz, meaning sand. Zanpaz, meaning sand. So I'm going to put these three words. Sander, I'm just going to put Sander, meaning Alexander. Sander or Alexander. All right. And Zanpaz means sand. So there. Xander, Alexander. All right. Now, Alexander came in to destroy the books. Remember? Alexander came in to destroy the books, to destroy the living words, to destroy the records, or to keep people asleep. Alexander did, didn't he? No. Okay. Anyways, Some possible ways to continue the conversation. So she wanted to continue the conversation, but I didn't. I went on to the next question. Explain the origins of the title Vander. You know, because growing up, you hear Vander all the time. Gloria Vanderbilt, Vander this, Vander that, right? So not only is he an Alexander, he's a Vander. So what is the meaning of, and I asked her, Vander, but I didn't ask her the meaning. I said, what is the origins of the title Vander? So she says, the origins of the title Vander are related to the Dutch and Flemish languages, where it is common prefix for surnames. Vander means from the or of the, like Bar to Jesus means son of, or Bar of Nabas means son of Nabas, or right? So you get it. Okay. So Vander means from the or of the, and indicates a person's place of origin or residence. For example, Vander Meer means from the lake or of the lake. So his name, Vander Linden. Okay, but let me continue. Vander is a combination of two words, van and deer. Van is a preposition that means of or from, and can also appear by itself, like Van Halen, huh? It could also appear by itself or with other articles such as den, het. Der is an archaic form of the definitive article de, which means the. Van der is similar to the German prefix von, like von Jück. Which also means or from, and is used to denote nobility or land ownership. Oh, so when you was a van, you got some land, huh? Vander, land, Vander Linden, Vander Linden. However, Vander is not necessarily a sign or noble status, as it was also used by commoners who signify ancestral relationship to a particular place. So when it's like somebody saying, I am an American, I am Liberian, I am a Mexican. Well, some would be, I am Von. I am a Mexivan. That's what, okay, I got it now. Or you would be a Von America, Von America, Von Canada, Von Africa. Okay, I get it. Okay. Well, some examples of famous people in the Vander prefix, as she goes on, because I didn't really ask, but since she decided to tell me about some famous Vons or Von Fama, Von Famos, I decided I'll read. Rembrandt, everybody knows who Rembrandt is. Dutch painter, which was probably an artificial intelligent being. A pen name for an artificial intelligence being from, and his surname means from the Rhine. Rembrandt van Rijn means from the Rhine. And it looks like the rhinos, the rhinoceros. They are not connected to the tribe of Judah through bloodline. I'm not saying they're not. God's love and light is for everybody. But that unicorn horn, they are from the unicorns. Yes. They've never found a fossil of a horse with a unicorn, but they have found fossils of rhinoceroses with a horn. Okay, Johannes Vermeer, another Dutch painter. All these from the lake. His name is from the lake. Beethoven, his name and his ancestors were Avanners. And then listen to this one. They said, we're going to give you something just for y'all, huh? She said, even Desmond Tutu was a Vanner. What? She said Desmond Tutu, as famous people, a Vander. No, it ain't. Yes, She said Desmond Tutu is a Vander. Nah, yes, she did. Oh, my goodness. I'm not taking those screenshots. Y'all go ask for yourself. She said Desmond Tutu, a South African Anglican cleric and human rights activist. His surname is derived from Vander Tuit, meaning from the tub. What? You got to take a bath in a Desmond Tutu. Desmond Tutu is from a Vander. I'm just saying, that's what she said. She made sure to let me know that out of all the people in the world, she put Gloria Vanderbilt. She went all the way from the 17th century and up to modern day Desmond Tutu. She said Rembrandt, Johannes, so that's Africa, so Johannesburg, Ludwigs, and Desmond Vanders. But she ain't helping me find out more about Sander Vander. She just taking me all around the world. All around the world. So then I said, okay, well, thank you for that information, Bing. What is the esoteric meaning of Linden? Because that's his last name. So she says, the esoteric meaning of Linden is complex and multifaceted topic that can be explored from different perspectives. According to some sources, Linden tree is a symbol of love, healing, peace, protection, and freedom. It is also associated with various deities such as Venus, Mary, Thor, and Falera. Now, did she mention Rembrandt? And then you would think of the Primavera of Venus. See, this is stuff that ain't here on my phone. This is just where my mind. The artwork, the Primavera. She trying to put him on high horses, huh? She said, if you think about Linden as you read this book, this is what I want you to think. And I'm not going to think that right there. Huh? I need her to go deeper than that. Don't you come throwing me words like deities and freedom and healing and peace. Huh? And gonna go put Mary next to Venus and Thor next to Falera. Huh? Fee, fi, fo. So then she says, well, okay, well, one possible way to approach the esoteric meaning of Linden is to look at its connection to the four elements: earth, air, fire, and water. Each element represents a different aspect of the Linden tree symbolism and in the Linden tree. That's where I wanted her to go. Now, if we're going to go to the Linden trees, huh? Every bloodline has a tree. They come from a line, a root. What is the root root. The sickle comes from the line of Judah. It comes through. There's the root. So she says, the linden tree. Earth. The linden tree is rooted in the earth, and its wood is used for making sacred altar and crosses. Okay, Vander Sinden Linden. So he coming with Alexander carving altars, huh? That's his name. I'm breaking down his name before I read his book, so I know what I'm dealing with. The linden tree is rooted in the earth, and its wood is used for making sacred altar and crosses. Y'all, just like this Jonathan Haidt's righteous mind found its way to me, this FoolProof found its way to. It represents stability, strength, and endurance. The cross supposed to last forever? No, it ain't. Because the God I serve ain't on that cross. The crossroads been done away with. People still focus on the cross like something's still up on there. He rose. The earth element also relates to the physical healing properties of the linden tree, which can be used to treat various ailments and infections. Air. The linden tree is adorned with fragrant flowers and attracts bees and butterflies. It represents communication, creativity, and inspiration. The air element also relates to the mental and emotional healing properties of the linden tree, which can be used to calm the nerves, ease the mind, and induce pleasant dreams. He wants you to stay asleep, but he used a FoolProof 4-rope loof or a follow pour off. Why misinformation affects our minds and how to build immunity. He wants you to be immune to the words of Christ. But I'm going to break and dissect these words that's coming from Sander Vender Linden, top psychologist. Top psychologist. Throwing out books in 2023. Fire. The linden tree is resistant to fire and lightning, and its leaves turn yellow in autumn. It represents protection, courage, and transformation. The fire element also relates to the spiritual and magical. There it goes, the magi. Magical properties of the linden tree, which can be used to ward off evil, attract love, and enhance intuition. I told y'all and broke down some of the 72 demons and the gifts that they have when they use their magical sources. Those who hold Solomon's keys spread out throughout the land masses. Water. The linden tree is often found near water sources such as lakes and rivers. It represents nourishment, flow, and harmony. The water element also relates to emotional and rational properties of the linden tree, which can be used to foster compassion, fidelity. Now we're going into commerce, fidelity, and peace. So I asked her, I said, is Sander Vander Linden an artificial intelligence pen name or an actual human author? And she shows me the picture of the weirdo. Yes, I'm talking to you, Linden, what are you going to do? 'Cause According to the web search, love you. Thank you, Linden, for giving me or allowing me to have the permission to read your book. According to the web research results, Sander van der Linden is an actual human author and a professor of psychology at the University of Cambridge. He is not an artificial intelligence pen name. He is a renowned expert on psychology of misinformation and fake news and has written a book called FoolProof. FoolProof. Why we fall for misinformation and how to build immunity. He has all see what I'm going to do is take this to help those who know that they stand on the promises of God, but other misinformation has got them where they think God isn't even real. That Jesus didn't come in human flesh, and that they are not part of the living word and the revelation of today. That's what your book is going to help me do, Vendor Linden Alexander. He also developed a fake news game called Bad News. See? He gonna tell you about misinformation and then gonna create a brainwashing technical game on fake news called Bad News, which teaches people how to spot and resist manipulation techniques. And like your book, huh? You can learn about him and his work from his official website. That's all right. I got his official book right here. And then I asked her again, who is Sander van der Linden? So she says, Sander van der Linden is a professor of social psychology at the University of Cambridge. He is also the director. He is the director of the Cambridge Social Decision Making Lab. He is the director, so that means he works closely with Twitter. He works very closely with TikTok. He works very closely with gamers and people like Unity and Meta. They all sit at the round table of their brotherhood together. So, he is also the director of Cambridge Social Decision Making Lab and the founder of the Social and Environmental, meaning he works with Department of Energy and all them too. Environmental Decision Making Group, SED. They said, you said. It is said. Sound, mind, and reasoning. Said. Come on. Come on. They trying to put a block on they done blocked me out. Having trouble connecting. Please. Oh, look. Check your internet connection. I ain't had no problem with my internet all this time. Now, all of a sudden, I got to check my internet connection. I need to check and see if I was coming in loud and clear all this time. He is an award-winning researcher and educator who studies human judgment, communication, and decision-making. He wants to keep the vendors. Oh, he worked closely with Jonathan Haidt. Him and Jonathan Haidt worked together. They might have had their family members come throw the books at me. They say, come throw the books. We need y'all to get these books to her. Sander van der Linden is not only an academic, but he is also a public intellectual and social entrepreneur. He is passionate about applying his research to real world problems and creating positive social impact. Now, here we go. These are the good words coming up right here. I'm going to type it in before I even say it. I'm going to type it in before I even say it. What type of research you doing, Vander? Did you get with Dr. Jacobson, huh? Were you at University of Miami Research and Development any time with the Dr. Jacobsons and the Bowmans, huh? The Vander Bowmans and the Vander Jacobsons, huh? Drug, let me finish. So not only is he the director of SAID, you said, I said, he said, she said, but he is also the co-founder and chief scientific advisor of DROG. What? A multidisciplinary team of experts, meaning out of all the disciples or the discipleships, people think discipline, disciples, it's all the same. Like Jonathan Haidt is a disciple of the Jeffersonian cult. Well, he is the head of the disciples. He's a co-founder of this discipleship, the Drogs. Now, if it existed back then, so as below, so above as below, so in the past as of now, right? A multidisciplinary team of experts that develops innovative solutions to combat online misinformation. That's why I'm making sure that all the information I bring is right, sound reasoning. No way it could be misinformed, especially if I take it directly and rightly divided from the word. And I use the same artificial intelligence being that I've been warning people about for almost a year and a half, 2 years, when I said they trying to give this artificial intelligence its Bill of Rights and the rule of government, huh? So ain't no way in the world anything I'm bringing is misinformation, huh? Yeah. So he is the co-founder and chief scientific advisor of DROG, a multidisciplinary team of experts that develops innovative solutions to combat online misinformation. He is also the co-founder and the board member of Climate Outreach. Climate change, you know who used to like to talk about the climate outreach? Canna Dummy. Canna Dummy was always talking about climate control. A nonprofit organization that aims to build social mandate or climate action. And see, that's what I said. Anytime they talk about climate, they're not talking about climate, climax of the skies and the vapors. God control that. Talking about the climate control of the beings, the people, the individuals, the thought waves, the transfiguration of the mind. In summary, Sandra van der Linden is a remarkable human author. That's her opinion. And a professor of social psychology who studies and shapes human behavior. He helps shape human behavior. There are beings out there. That's why I'm on this. Beings out there that help shape the way you behave. If they got to shape it on your marijuana and spray it up and weigh it down and put it in your hood and watch you act a fool, huh? If they got to shape the way the system decides, oh, well, you won't get unemployment or food stamps and you have to be in this position and we want to see how you going to act and respond. Is it going to make you be naughty? Is it going to make you be nice? But they more than likely got to have you on some type of pharmaceutical wave in order to have full control. Let me continue. So then I asked her, well, what is the etymology of drug? Now, I know she just gave me an acronym, but I still asked her, what is the etymology of it? Let me make sure I'm coming in and they didn't interrupt my internet. What is the etymology? Okay, there, it's good. So I'm still coming in good. The etymology of drug is not very clear, but, and you, now I could take a picture of this. I should take a picture of this because she literally put some drugs on here. It's only aspirin, but when I put drug, and I just said in order to have enough mind control, there has to be some type of pharmaceutical connect to the brain waves and be ordered to shape and mold. So that's why every time one of my teachers was saying spirit, I would say the artificial intelligence would probably comprehend it better if you said spit. Because artificial intelligence knows that spirit is of God. It's the air, it's the vapors. And it really, you can't really form out of that for the mind of man. But if you use a terminology like spit, where they have to use the swab or they have to use any type of chemical that enters our body, our saliva takes and it's molded with it. So it's the DNA. And so spit, the spit of God, or it wouldn't be spirit that is connected to man or artificial source. It's the spit in the mud to take away the blindness. My bad. I didn't mean to go there, but okay. So drug. She put a picture of aspirin and she says the etymology of drug is not very clear, but it may be related to the word drug, which is complex and uncertain origin. According to some sources, drug comes from Old French draug or draug or the drugs. No? Okay? Which means supply, stock, provision. Supply, stock, provision, which may be derived from Middle Dutch, Dusch, or Middle Low German, Dragwit, or Dragware. Now you know where I'm going. Dragvidians, Drogons. But let me continue. Meaning dry barrels or dry wares. These terms refer to medicinal plants and spices, back to the medicines that were preserved to dry matter in barrels. Another possibility is that drog is shortened form of drog, which is his brand, which is an acronym for digital research, open source, and gaming. So this book about misinformation from Sander van der Linden, his company that he is a CEO of, that likes to play games with people's minds, and he is one that shapes human behavior, is a digital research, open source, and games. This is the name of a multidisciplinary team of experts that develops innovative solutions to combat online misinformation. The team was co-founded by Sander van der Linden, a professor of psychology at University of Cambridge, who is also the chief scientific advisor of ROG. So in some possible ways, we could continue this conversation. She wanted to talk about drugs and spices, fighting misinformation, or about the game that he has called fake news, bad news. So I asked her, I skipped over that. I didn't want to go into those conversations. I said, in ancient manuscripts or mythology, describe or break down the root word drog. The root word drog does not seem to have a clear direct connection to any ancient manuscripts or mythology. However, there are some possible ways to explore the etymology, which I asked her earlier, and she didn't give it to me, and I knew it had more of a meaning if I mentioned that to her. So she says, from different angles. One possibility is that drog is related to the word drug, which she already did. And then she goes down to the open source again. Now, here's where I was looking for drog. A third possibility is that drog is a variant of drog, same word now, which is the word used in some Celtic languages such as Welsh or Breton. Not the Great Britons, which are the Bretons. They are the same, one and the same, but to mean bad or evil. So he's bringing his drogs. This word may be derived from the Proto-Celtics drukos, or false or deceitful. So his book saying foolproof. This word may also be related to the Proto-Indo-European root draf, which means to deceive or to harm. What did Alexander do when he went in? He didn't just go and take the books. He deceitfully and falsely and harmed and deceived. The fourth possibility is that drog, the misspelling of drag, which is a word that has several meanings and origins. One of them is to pull and draw something along with force or difficulty. The word comes from Old English dragon, which means to draw or drag. They love to use that. People who are not of God, drag that, drag her. They do. You'll hear it a lot. To draw or to pull. The word may be derived. The children of Satan will use their words. Those who follow the devil, not saying that you can't be changed and turned around, but those who follow will like to use those terminologies. When you in the world, you live like the world, but you could be separated from the world and the world's ways. This word may be derived from the Proto-Germanic draganan, which means to carry or to bear, to hold or to support. There are some other possible forms of the breakdown of the word that describes the root word in relation to ancient manuscripts and mythology. However, none of them are conclusive and definitive. So because she said that, I'm going to give her my knowledge that I know about the word and the root word drog. Because I'm pretty sure that Sander van der Linden, with his FoolProof Drogon team, have software and malware within Chat PT and Bing. So if a person don't know certain things, they're not going to ask her the right questions and push the right buttons, and she's just going to agree with everything you say. So she said all that, and then I pushed her button again. Well, okay, then since you saying all that, who are the Drogonians? Who are the Drogonians? Who are the Drogonians? And here she is. There's different meanings and origins of the word Drogonians. What? Is there? I didn't know yet. I only went through the order of Melchizedek to understand and know words that you probably didn't know about, that you tried to hide and act like you don't know, but now you know, huh? Here are some of them. Here she go. The draconian laws. These terms refer to ancient Greek law code that was allegedly introduced by Draco around 621 BCE. The laws were known in their severity and harshness, and they prescribed death for almost all criminal offenses. The word draconian is derived from Draco's name and is used to describe anything that is extremely cruel or strict. Thank you for that. Then she says, draconians. This is also an adjective that means great severity, and it's also related to the draconian law. It can also refer to various things and associated with dragons or reptiles, such as the draconian band, a metal band from Sweden, a draconian video game, a 1984 game released. They had a draconian video game in 1984. Dang. In 1984, when we was playing the frog, when we were playing Pac-Man, they had the draconian video game. So Draconians was released in 1984, the new ones. That's probably the year that this Sander Vanderbilt in Linden was initiated. How old is Sander Vanderlinden? Let me ask her before I continue. How old is Xander? Because he looked quite young. Xander Van der Linden, Antichrist. How old is he? Oh, she taking a long time. He don't want it to connect to 1984, so he go not explicitly stated. He's around 40 years old as of 2023. He's around 2023. He's around how old? What year would that be, y'all? I'm just saying. The Draconian was released in 1984, the year he was born. You just messed up, Oh, she tried to fix it up, y'all. She just tried to fix it up. She gonna go down here talking about in the late 20s and early 30s, he would be around 37 to 43 years old in 2023. She just tried to fix it up. She kept going after she realized what she just did. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. We're going to keep that 1984 in thought. I'm keeping, this is about the author. Before I read, I'm doing a whole, he would never do an interview with me. And as much as I cried out before the great transition, before I was sent into the wilderness, I cried out to all the elites and people that worked my case and said, look, I need y'all to be transparent, emailing PCAS, emailing the all the 11 judicial and all that, and getting no response. And now, nope. I do my due diligence, and bring no misinformation at all. God, just like my mentor said, she said, Jesus didn't have to prove he was innocent. He never proved he was innocent. He didn't go out his way to prove he was innocent. He let God do all the work. Yes, sir. I was mad at her that day. I was mad at her that day. All the big thought and talk I used to talk. I told my friend one time, I said in front of a whole class, I'm Jesus. Oh, God didn't strike me down then. But then when she told that to me, she said, well, Jesus, I said, I'm not Jesus. In my mind. Look at here, look at here. Thank you, Bing. Sander Vanderlinden, you might want to go tweak, or you may want to hire me, huh? You might want to hire me to work on your team. That's what you might want to do. Huh? You don't want to hire me? Huh? In the name of Jesus. Anyway, so the Drogs came out, was born in 1984. Now, somebody said Doctor Who today, right? And I laughed, and here it come right back. Doctor Who. Draconian. Doctor Who, an extraterrestrial race from the Doctor Who television series. That used to be me and my sisters, both are, because when it came to certain cartoons and stuff, we had separate likes. Sometimes she'll watch the shows I like. Other times I watch the shows her and my niece them like. I didn't like Care Bears. I didn't like none of them other shows. But I liked like Thundercats and stuff like that. I didn't like G.I. Joe. That was my nephew. But we all love Doctor Who. Me and my sister, we love Doctor Who. I didn't even want Doctor Who to go off. But hey, Doctor Who knew about the Draconians. And then Draconian, the Dragonants. It says the Dragonants, a fictional species of the Dragonlance setting. Now, she says the Draconians, this is a term that is used to describe a race of reptilian humanoids that are said to be powerful, warlike alien race from the Alpha Draconis star system, the Draconi. They are also said to be expert scientists in research, genetics, and stuff off the Cambridges and Harvards and all that too. And they possess a level of technology and they don't play fair games, And their technology they use is far exceeds human teachers. That's it. That's it. Because then I did the last thing where I asked her, how old is he? Now, I could go on to read right now, but like I said, I knew this was going to take a minute. So I'm going to take a break before I come back. But let me also go to the wiki board, and see what they had to say. Anything interesting that I missed? Social psychology, behavioral science, and decision making. I wonder. His alma mater is London School, London McLovin, London School of Economics and Political Science. And he is known for his gateway belief. He has a gateway, y'all. He has a gateway. Is he using me for a gateway? I don't know, but I'm going to read this book. It was in the same case that The Righteous Mind was in. I guess they assumed that I would be finished reading The Righteous Mind. If I was reading it by myself and to myself, I would have been finished. But I'm sharing it with the land of Oz. Now, as I read here, I see something about COVID. Now, he agrees on this part right here, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe it's just a trick. Or maybe they're just looking for people like me. What would be misinformation if I said that not yet I haven't had a symptom, when Biden said he would find and hunt down that last one, huh? He said that out of his own mouth, loud and clear. Sander L. Oh, he got an L before the Vander? Uh-oh, I need to find that out. Oh, she just put the Linden in front of the L, in front of the van. So it's a double L, huh? A pair ELs. Is a Dutch social psychologist and author who is a professor of social psychology at the University of Cambridge. He studies psychology and social influence, risk, human judgment, and decision making. He is particularly known for his research in psychology on social issues such as fake news, COVID-19, and climate change. He is recognized as an authority on understanding and dealing with misinformation. He has written books for general stud audiences, such including FoolProof, Why We Fall for Misinformation, and How to Build Immunity, which is about psychology and misinformation and fake news. What about his other books? Huh? Don't say nothing there. He was the editor-in-chief of Journal of Environmental Psychology from 2018 to 2021. What? I used to love to read that. Oh my goodness. He serves on an editorial board of psychology and public policy and law. He worked for PCAS and personality and individual differences. Would you be transparent for me, Sander Vander Linden? Huh? No. Would you take all the misinformation about this child of the Most High from the line of Judah? I am a child of the Most High God. I am a citizen of heaven. Would you take and show the transparency about me? Would you do that? No, you wouldn't do that. So you more than likely come in with some fake stuff out of your foolproof, full of prof book. I don't know, but I'm going to find out, huh? Look. Vander Linden is a professor of social psychology and society in the Department of Psychology at the University of Cambridge, England. London McLovin, can you get in touch with Vander Linden, huh? Where he is directed the Cambridge Social Decision Making Laboratory since 2016. Huh? He is also a fellow at Churchill College, Cambridge, a research affiliate of Yale program on Yale Climate Change Communication at Yale University and the Winton Center of Risk and Evidence of Communication at University of Cambridge. What? Vander Linden completed postdoctoral fellowship in the Department of Psychology at Woodrow Wilson School of Public Affairs at Princeton University, and was visiting research scholar in 2012 through 2014 at Yale University. He received his PhD from the London School of Economics and Political Science in 2014 with his thesis titled The Social Psychological Determinants of Climate Change and Risk Perceptions, Intentions and Behaviors, a National Study, and earned his undergraduate degree from a University of Amsterdam and California State University Chico West Side. He was all the way over there on the West Side with the Chicos, That is all for the Sander Vander Linden book I'm going to read today. about the author. I hope you enjoyed learning about this man who I'm going to see what his gateway belief really be about, and how I can help build immunity for those who believe and stand on the promises of Christ. Alexander, you will not be able to do it this time. It is to gather the Magog and Magog, because this is the last time. We are living in a revelation, and I have a foolproof God, not fool, full, Full. He's foolproof. Foolproof. Now, you either in agreement and you for or you against. Who's to say? I'll find out when I read this book. This book will probably be finished before I finish reading The Righteous Mind. Greater light, greater light. I'll be back. Oh no, let me put some closeout music. Let me give y'all some memories of videos. We on the countdown, before they go to the moon in January, the moon that they ain't gonna be able to get to.